I've had a lot of people tell me that they miss when I used to scribe in my readings. And in case you're not aware of what that means, scribing is when a channeler writes while they're experiencing visions, or channeled messages, if you will. So, I've decided, if you guys want it back, I want to bring it and flow it in to the collective readings. This is what I decided to do. Any reading that's going to be over like 25 minutes, those are going to be readings I scribe in. And they're going to be uploaded specifically to the YouTube collective readings. Readings that are going to be under 25 minutes and are more what I call a meat and potato based reading will be collective TikTok readings. So with that being said, you can be part of the YouTube and the TikTok collective because they're randomized. Every single reading it's not fixated in a certain collective like the Archangel readings are. With that being said, if you're feeling called to a reading that goes far, far more in depth and is in a more neutral to steady pace, if you will, you'll be called more to one of those YouTube collective readings. And if you're called for a meat and potatoes reading that definitely tells a vast amount of information, but in a more brief time frame, if you will, you'll be called to the TikTok reading. With that being said, let's go ahead and see what our first YouTube collective in a very long time reading is. Okay. Let's find it out together. That's how we always do it with the YouTube collective. Well, I definitely feel like they're saying to go ahead and migrate, separating this, that. Those are the cards. It's a meeting halfway type of reading for sure. All of the cards, it feels like this is you and this is another person. Okay, let's see. Let's help you figure out what's going on with this. What's your energy showing me in this reading? You know, the migrating with the claws isn't hard. These are actually very easy to move around with. And actually, even looking out of this mask, is I would call it a 5 out of 10. It's way more comfortable and easier to see than you probably think. The hardest thing is these gloves. That's the hardest thing. I see that there's a connection that you see a new beginning with. Moss can be something that's of a very deep importance to you. This person helped you be awakened to your own spiritual abilities. You already knew you had them before you met. But they definitely made that extra awakening, if you will, to go even farther into understanding yourself and what you truly are meant to do here. I see that this connection, you still have a flame within you, even after all your upgrades is what I'm hearing. It's like you did spend quite a bit of time not thinking about this person and moving forward and having different relationships and seeing a complete future where they would never come back. That was all intended for further growth. This connection, it's healthy, so don't make it fit. If this is not going to be a healthy dynamic for you, meaning somebody that, yes, you'll have your roller coaster moments and you'll do your balance, give and take, and you won't expect perfection, but you will see balance and communication. That's the type that's worth it. That's the relationship this is. If you don't feel those things about this person, then you know that part of this reading deeply is something for you to figure out within yourself if it's more connected to a future connection you're pulling in with the law of attraction. With that being said, I see that you and this person both feel you can create through the ashes. This is deeply their energy, okay? They're seeing and they had unnecessary fear attached to your name, to your face, to your energy. No more what ifs. There's too many synchronicities, I'm saying. There's too many signs, I'm saying. It's like this person went from feeling like they couldn't speak, couldn't admit these things to themselves, to now they're like, I want to say it, I want to speak, I see it. I've always seen it, but now I truly am not fighting it. Yeah, this fire is been glowing within them for a long time, but it looks like for them there's been like a showance, if you will. It's bubbled up and they feel ready to proceed to you. Okay, so with that being said, we know this reading is about a meeting, a halfway situation. Now we're going to get our tarot cards for it. These are what scribing will come into play. Spirit's going to give you the guidance, basically, forwarding what you should do within this connection, if you will. Spirit says, looks like there's this sense of knowing about when stopping giving too much to a person, or when you're starting to feel like your insecurities are creeping up and taking away your confidence and following when you know there's something deeper, not only with a person, but a feeling within you. It's trusting yourself. You've been able to let go of so many things. People, yes, but even more than that don't serve you. So why would Spirit be giving you all these channeled messages when things are going good? That's what these cards are diving into. Let's do this. Well, let me tell you something. This reading, it didn't take another direction, but it definitely caught your attention for a reason. The person in front of me has had probably at least two individuals in their life in current times. They've wondered and gone back and forth with, like, hey, has it been served, the connection, if you will? Or are they somebody I receive channel messages is coming back? There's a time when you're not sure if it's your intuition or the part of you that tries to keep you in a low vibrational state that thinks this. Is it really for me? Or am I supposed to completely move forward from this connection? And it looks like because it's more than one person, it confuses you. I'm not saying it's been more than one person at the same time. I'm saying a frame of 3 to 4 years, at least 2 certain partners have came in and out of your life, and you're not sure exactly where you stand with each other. Well, for one of these specific people, the one that you really got pulled in, if you will, you felt the reading was about that person. You're probably like, man, I haven't even thought about this person in a while, but this has been a recent thing that I've kind of have been more on, like, hey, are they the one that Spirit sends me signs about, that there's this return of energy, but a new experience together, if you will. The reason this reading pulled to you like a magnet is to let you know, even though you see the timeline, this person is a karmic. They're somebody that you had a deep reason for meeting and experiencing, and you had a soul tie together, okay? But a soul tie can still be somebody that you're meant to experience, but not stay in each other's lives. This soul tie, the reason we state it's a karmic, if you will, is because that is the level of energy it will fall into if you do not release. You are right about there being another lover in your life that is returning. The individual that you feel seeping through your bones right now, this is about, it's going to be a lot of clarity on why you don't have to question anymore, and that this truly is something that's meant to be washed away, because the channel messages you receive about finding love or having this connection, this communication with whoever Spirit's guiding you into your life, the channel messages you're receiving about happening are true. It's just the face, it's just the person. This is part of the process. You definitely had to let this person go before they would allow the other to come back, if you will. So, with that being said, this certain person, this is how they currently feel about not only you, but things that are going on in their life. You see, this reading is not going to be about talking shit and saying that they're a horrible person and you could find somebody so much better, and like, don't get me wrong, you do deserve better. But this reading is going to help you explain why they are still learning how to be their own healthy partner. And you cannot take a lot of things they did personally. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt any less. Doesn't mean you process it. But after you've done that, realize it's more of a reflection of them and the assumptions they made than you at the end of the day. It's not your place to care about proving who you are to people. You know, the ones that are supposed to be in your life will see that. And your words and your actions prove themselves. Currently, the way this person feels about their life, I'm hearing, is there's something they feel very trapped in. This could be another relationship. This could be work. This could be a home setting. This could be a mindset. This could be an addiction. A lot of different things because it's collective. But the thing that overall is the same is the person you are thinking of feels very lost and trapped in their life. I'm hearing they could not pick up their bags and leave if they wanted to. So a part of them is very comfortable with what they have, but another part of them feels that intensity of there's something more, something not healthy about what's going on with me. It's an interesting dynamic. I hear that this person, if they were in your life, they would be bringing back a lot of old situations. So it looks like you could have maybe, they would have put you in the position where maybe you used to have some form of a substance addiction, etc. And what I'm hearing is that this person, like being in your life, would put you in places that would be a lot easier if you were to make bad decisions, places you never would have put yourself other than to be with this person, and etc. It's crazy what love can do, you know. It really can. When you're not seeing things fully and you're just following that heart and nothing else, it's crazy the things that you would be willing to do again or do for the first time, etc. What I hear is the way that this is tying into you is they definitely do not even feel the ability it is such a suffocating feeling wherever they are. And a main priority spirit saying for them is they're working hard to definitely get out of this and maybe trying to save up their money, or they're actively looking for a new roommate, a new place to live. They've actively are leaving a toxic relationship, etc. So it looks like they are trying their best to find peace, and definitely you coming back into each other's life, it would ruffle feathers in multiple ways. We continue to explain why. You see, they do see you. They do feel that you're a very good person, and sometimes it's not that they 100% don't think about coming back into your life or you coming back into theirs. They do entertain it in their head, but that's just it. It's entertainment. And that's why you can feel the connection, but then something kind of switches and it's like it doesn't finish. It's like starting a movie and then stopping it over and over again. That's how it feels like when you get telepathic connections from them, and that's because that's exactly what's happening. They get stuck in a loop, and they like to stay. I almost hearing that, like, I almost hear that they feel. Wow. They're attracted to when you don't try to be with them, which is a very toxic type of thing. They're attracted to a chase type of energy. They see where you are and what you're doing for yourself. Sometimes they don't see you in the highest of light, and this is exactly why it's supposed to be a YouTube reading, because it needs to be very much you diving in completely to the overall of this situation. It doesn't matter what they think of you, because they do not think very highly of themselves to begin with, so their kind of perception of people from there is shifted, if you will. This person, when you were being authentic and vulnerable and etc., they definitely saw it as like a clinginess. They were dissatisfied. They thought you were going to be this other type of person. They were attracted to more, it's just simple as like a player or smooth talker type of energy, like fun. And they assumed wrong of you. But they learned that fast because of the way you talked and your personality, that you're a very kind person. And the attraction shifted. They no longer saw you as this like prize, like somebody to win. They saw you as too sensitive. And they became they came at peace with fate about throwing away like the connection. This is definitely a person that was trying to attract in, the best way I can put it. I'm laughing because of what I'm wearing. You can either be the own hero or own villain of your super story. Of your life, if you will. You can be your own villain or own hero of your own life story. It looks like this person assumed you to be almost like an anti-hero type of energy. Or hell, maybe even like it may sound really cheesy, but this is what's coming to mind, like just as the energy, not the actual character or whatever, but they could have found you as an anti-hero, or even more of like a Joker type of person. In reality, your favorite superhero is probably along the lines of, these are collective resonates, but if you do like superheroes and etc., it's probably along the lines of like Captain America, or I keep seeing even Batman and Superman. It's not. Long story short, for the example of the download I'm receiving, you are not who they expected you to be. One thing is you've persevered your authenticity, and so that's now the real factor of seeing that you were right about being your authentic self, and that hard work and dedication and to your mission and believing yourself when nobody else did was going to pay off. It has and continues to. Part of them is a little dissatisfied that they let the thought of you being clingy and the assumptions of what. It's so interesting. They must have gotten assumptions based off very minuscule miscommunications, and maybe even other people's thoughts of you who knew you when you were not who you are now, because none of us are the same person we were when we were younger. Collective takes what resonates, but there's definitely an energy here of dissatisfaction by following what other people told them to think when it came to you. But the thing is, at the same time with all of this, my friend, they're very much at peace with fate with where your connection is. They wish the best for you. I hear that. Like, they're not wishing you ill will. But this is an envious type of person who definitely wants to be the controller in the relationship, is what I'm hearing. That's another thing. They thought even with that there may be an ability to kind of, not even, it's a weird way to put it, like, they realized that you could not be controlled by their body or activities. Like, you're not a distraction is what I'm hearing. You were not somebody that was going to go out and party with them. You're not somebody that sex is going to solve every problem, if you will. And they were used to people like that in the past. They're at peace with fate that even though they see you in a high light, they also kind of feel like in this way that they're saving you from themselves. I'm telling you, they're going through a lot, and they do go back and forth the way they feel about you. And that's why Spirit's letting you know that you're deserving of more. It's not taking what you feel for this person away, or their character, or their worth, okay? It's just seeing yourself. It's seeing what you're deserving of. This person wishes you the best. Okay. And it really does feel like Spirit needs me to let you know that this connection, it really is best for you to let it go. If it would have dived further, if there all this divine intervention didn't happen, you most likely really would have gone back on some of your progress. They definitely woken something out of you and made you see, if I could go all this distance for somebody else that doesn't, really deserve me, or etc., or even I can go all this distance for somebody who ends up at the end not reciprocating what I'm giving. It's interesting energy. What I'm feeling is you're stating, if I do all this effort and a person sees that as clingy or as too sensitive and etc., I'm glad to know, because then it's going in one ear out the other, and it's like blowing up a tire and not allowing it to close. I'm seeing so many different types of examples right now. But at the end of the day, what they're trying to state is you should be at peace with fate as well, that this connection truly is not meant to go forward. The reason this person comes into your mind when things are going good in your life, okay, is because this person feels like the one anchor Spirit has a little harder time pulling up for you. It feels like there's a lot of clutter at the bottom of the ocean, if you will, holding on to this anchor, when it's the last anchor to pull up and then have you sail forward. It's like, think of that anchor as the parasite and the one thing it can cling on. And as soon as that thing shifts up and it breaks free, it's open seas from there. That's why when things are becoming good and it doesn't make any damn sense, because the way you ended things was not healthy, because you don't necessarily even want what you once wanted with them at all. The reason you think about them is because it's that last thing. It's that last thing. Once you overcome, Spirit has nothing that can hold you back to your past. This person being in your life, they would not promote you to feel the best of yourself. There's a lot of miscommunication. It feels like a deep pull as well. This person had a siren type of energy. Somebody that is very beautiful and has a way with words and a way with energy and a way with sensuality that hooks, lines, and sinkers somebody. Then we have mermaids, who are these beautiful sources from the inside out, and they look very much the same till you get close enough, personal enough. This person would actually drain your force. And what you really should be happy about is this person showed you the warrior mentality within you when it came to persevering through love. You've been given every reason to not believe in love, and you have prevailed through it. You understand what you're deserving of. You understand that if a person sees you as a tyrant or somebody that is going against the grain, and that's a bad thing, or etc., those individuals could never understand the work you do, could never understand the inner self-work and outer self-work you have done. Spirit wants you to know going forward that there's no need to be defensive when it comes to accepting love from other people. If there's something about you that has been feeling afraid to allow something new into your life, or you've had a lot of defenses up in love because you dealt with so much before. Remember, you gotta get past. Once you get past certain points in new love with new individuals, you gotta be at peace with faith that there's gonna come a spot in every relationship where they have the ability to hurt you. Anybody that you love has the ability to hurt you. It's one paired with the other. I see for you it's not hard to see love in somebody else if you can really let this go. The only part that really tries to keep this going is that last piece of trash or seaweed, etc., that's wrapped around that anchor. Everything's pushing you forward to new experiences, to new islands, not to what you've already sailed. Spirit's saying to take a moment and congratulate yourself for being able to even be here and download this message, because there are a lot of people that this is different than the ones that know that this was not for them. Okay, there are certain people here that knew this reading was for them and were like, I don't want to hear that. I'm going to exit out. And they're going through their own process as well. And again, that's totally different than people who started listening. So like, yo, sounds like it's for somebody that's not me. That's totally different. That's a person using their discernment, following their intuition. But the ones that felt and knew this was for me and then heard how it changed and left, you didn't do that. And you have to congratulate yourself for the fact that you don't have a lack mindset. Giving more to this would be a sense of sending like an imbalance. You haven't done anything wrong, but Spirit's saying if you've been thinking about reaching out to them, or if you even have reached out to them, don't feel like it's weak if you already did, but it's not needed and it's not reciprocated, no matter if you feel them wanting you across them at the table, if you will. Trying to talk to them would be impulsion. So, with that being said, out of the reading, what we got? Following your intuition. Scrying! This is literally the scrying card. And that's crazy. Yeah, if you've been feeling like called to... I see. If you've been feeling called to learn more about spirituality and read your own cards and etc., this is the perfect time. During all times of the year, but especially fall, in the month of October, there's a lot of gifts you can open up and explore with. Right now is a better time than any to dive into divination. In fact, if you're called, I do have 3 different forms of coaching services, if you will. I have my apprenticeship program, my Patreon Tier 7 students, and then my YouTube Tier 4 coaching. These 3 different forces are how I've been able to break down in the most affordable fashion, from most expensive to cheapest, on providing you tarot guidance while I receive my energy exchange. I've put countless days, time, energy, and research into all of the courses above. Every single person, no matter if you're in the Tier 4 YouTube membership, the Patreon Tier 7 student, or one of my apprentices, all receive tarot guidance, which is 2 monthly videos that are added to a continued playlist that further dive into understanding tarot cards, certain spreads, how to utilize other divination tools, and a vast amount more. The students and the apprentices, every single month we have a group meetup on the last Saturday of every month where we talk, we vibe, we chill, we collect collective synchronicities, if you will, and we cleanse our cards and our spiritual items. Also, the students and the apprentices receive a deep amount of one-on-one guidance, personal communication, and me interpreting their cards with them. Tier 4 members on YouTube Tarot Coaching receive all of those videos and access to my private Discord tarot teachings server. If you're interested in learning more about the apprenticeship program, go to my website that's linked in all of my social media platforms, offprintmint.com. Go to the services tab, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to see the apprenticeship breakdown. If you're interested in scheduling an interview, you simply click the button right there, and it will give you all the prompt details from there. If you're interested in learning more about the Patreon membership teams, go to Patreon at Uncle Bronze. Link is in also all my social media platforms. And if you're interested in learning about the different tier levels for YouTube memberships, go ahead to my profile and click on the membership tab, or on this video you should see a join button somewhere underneath the video screen. That's what I got for y'all today, and I'll see you when I see you. Let's get it.